Hi, sweet corn cakes. Welcome to another episode of Whatcha Packin. I am here with Seattle's own Jane Don't.
Hi.
Were you born and raised in Seattle?
I was not. I was born and raised in Spokane.
Oh.
So still Washington.
Close enough.
Close enough. Well, in distance, yeah, but it's a very, people think that Washington is like all liberalism and single origin coffee. I grew up on like the Combine, the God of Guns like side.
Really?
Yeah.
The Pacific Northwest is kind of a magical place.
It is.
It allows you to be quirky and weird and fun. Were you in, like, how long have you been there?
I've been in Seattle for 10-ish years now.
Like, were you in with the Jinx and the Daylon?
No, when I was in college, it was Jinx's first run. It was season 5.
We get it, you're younger.
Yeah, and I have a degree. So I think I went and saw Jinx perform a few times at the place that she was performing before she was announced. And I used to go and see Ben's shows when I was like, but it was all before I had started drag.
So you're then Bosco.
Yes, and Irene.
And Irene.
Yes, those are my sisters. Those are my sisters. Those are the girls that I started, that I didn't start drag with Irene because she's from Texas, but Bosco and I kind of started around the same time.
How fun. So Jane Don't, you really killed it in this competition. I hope you're very proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You came out strong, like really strong, like pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
And you maintained it for a long while until, well, that happened.
Yeah, until the end there.
Yeah, and it does happen. And listen, I hold a very special place in my heart for 5th place.
Hey.
I tend to come in 5th place in a lot of competitions that I do.
It's a good, cozy little spot.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be okay, Jane Don't. So how many times have you auditioned for RuPaul's Drag Race?
I think this was my 4th time. So longer than some, but not as long. I mean, some of the girls on this season were 10, 13 years. So, I think before I got here was kind of like, it's been ages.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like Gloria Swanson waiting for my second big break or whatever. But then I, met Athena Dion and I was like, you know what? I'm doing okay. It could have been a lot worse.
You're very smart.
Oh, thank you.
And that could hinder you.
Sure.
And that could help you.
Yeah.
I know I'm an overthinker. What's your sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Okay. Oh.
But my moon and my rising are Capricorn.
Okay,
Yeah.
That grounds you a little
Yes.
bit more, because both of my children are Pisces and all they do is cry, so.
I do, to be fair, I do a lot of that. We fill our quota.
Yes, you do.
But I get a lot of things done in between.
Good,
Yeah.
fantastic. I think that you tend to maybe overthink sometimes, but you have a really good sense of humor and you have a really great reference point. Where does that come from?
I don't even, I feel
Like, did you grow up watching old movies?
I mean, I did. So my grandmother partially helped like raise me. My grandma and my aunt lived very close, so I would spend a lot of time with my grandma, free babysitting. And she,
Yes.
and she had been a tap dancer when she was younger, so she was a musical theater like chorus girl.
This is amazing.
Yeah, so we would watch like, the MGM like movie musicals and, like the Yul Brynner King and I and The Sound of Music. So that was kind of my first exposure. In high school, I got really obsessed with like Warhol and The Factory and the Warhol Superstars. And then I got—
How did you find that?
I was a kind of a nerdy kid. And I was just so desperate for anything that felt like where I wasn't.
Totally get it. Yes.
So I was obsessed with like the Velvet Underground, and like I thought I was gonna move to New York and I was gonna be Nico. Like I was the second coming, baby.
I totally get it. I found Mae West by accident in something called an encyclopedia. And
tell me about it, I've never seen one.
It's very cool, it had all sorts of different volumes.
Wow.
And I came across Mae West, I remember saying to my mother, I was young, I must have been like 7, 8, going like, what is that? And how do I be that? And I think it's the fantasy of realizing you don't really fit in the place that you're in. So we go into our own minds to protect ourselves, but also to disassociate.
Yeah, 100%.
With reality. And drag is how you did it. Drag is certainly how I found a safe space to be different. I think that's why it was so special to me. So I can understand what it means to you and why your reference points are so fabulous and creative. Did you feel the love, and did you feel how quickly you were like, to the top? And when you did you think you had a target on your back at all?
Oh, I mean, yes to both.
Okay.
There's a particular moment in one of the design challenges, the second design challenge, where.
You are good.
Thank you. I
You
love to
are
sew.
good.
And I
You
love
can-
to make stuff.
Yes.
And I did that kind of air on acid like thing. And Rue specifically, it was like, you're doing MAME, you're doing this air thing. Like, I know exactly what you're doing. It was so sincere too. Like, it felt like Rue was very like, because she said, she was like, I get it.
She wouldn't say it.
I don't think, if nobody else gets it, like I get what's going
Yeah.
on. You know, that's like what you dream about happening. I don't know if it was a target on my back from the other girls. I think I felt a bit isolated from folks at certain points, because I felt like nobody wants to hear the girl who's doing really well like cry. You know what I mean? No one wants, you know what I mean? Like, it was a little harder when I was having tough days. I kind of was like, well, I can't go complain to the the bitch who was just in the bottom.
Right.
Like, oh, it was a tough week for me. I was in the top for the 6th week in a row. Oh, you know, like, they did say one mean thing.
Right.
And it's really putting me through it.
Now, I know you won a lot.
I did.
So it might be difficult for you to answer this, but tell me why the Ruical was your favorite challenge.
Well, it's one of those challenges that you always, you know, is coming.
It's my favorite challenge.
You know, those are the ones you want to win. It's like the Snatch Games and the Ruicals. It's like, those are the ones that you're like, you want to do well. But for me, also personally, it was sort of a full circle thing, because I went to school for music and theater, and I had flushed out of it because I was doing professional auditions, and I was like,
Oh, they're the worst.
the
Auditions
worst.
are the
Horrible.
I'm still doing it too, kid.
And you're so brave.
I am brave. They suck, and some people are just really bad auditioners.
I'm not a good auditioner. I'm not a great
Same,
auditioner.
I'm not one.
And I get in my head, and then the other side of the coin is the girls that are like incredible auditioners, and you're like, you, dude. Like, how do you keep booking stuff?
Agreed. But excuse me, you have a win as Miss Shenanigans.
That's true.
So
maybe
take that, girls.
Maybe we can book.
Yeah.
And that role specifically is like, that's what I used to do. That was kind of my specialty in like theater.
Comic relief.
Comic relief. I was Frances Flew in Midsummer Night's Dream.
You'd be a good mother in Bye Bye Birdie.
Exactly. Like, love a role where I get to come in the last half hour of the show and be the funniest part and upstage everyone.
Yes, that's
like,
a gift.
Sit in the dressing room for most of the show with my feet up. So I loved it.
Let's talk about some of these fashions.
Let's do it.
Now, the first one, that was a quick one.
Yes. Well, that's kind of why I brought it, because I was like, we didn't really get to talk. The talent show runways, both of them were like runways that I loved. And then when we did the runway, I was like, oh, we don't get to talk to the judges about it. But I love this.
Did you make it?
I did it. My friend Jasmine Dash from New York made it, who's amazing. The first thing on the mood board was like a Galliana for Dior look, where the model's wearing this big blue brocade coat. And then she has these huge sleeves of these petals of organza in the different colors like popping out. And I was like, I've always been obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of do the same effect for the Shake, Shake, Shake. And then it kind of morphed into like this musketeer thing.
Right.
Because, you know, I mean, again.
We love a pirate.
You know, my brain kind of starts going.
Yeah,
and,
we venture left,
you
then
know,
right. And
I'm in Seattle, everyone's depressed. The weather's doing weird with my mind.
seasonal depression.
You know, I just start kind of going. And then this middle one was my swept away look. And this one is made by an LA local, Pixie Dot.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, who is a drag queen here. And this one, I do have to give her a shout out, because this fringe, a lot of it, we didn't buy individual strands of sequin. She had to go to the garment district and get that fabric. It was the flat sequin fabric and then cut up. And so there was days worth of work going into this. And each of the arms weighs like 20 pounds.
You can see the work that was put into it.
This is the mouth, my favorite body part, which is like partially the Carol Burnett, Bob Mackie reference. Being referential in drag is great.
And then there's copy.
But then there's just straight up like, you just made the thing. And so I wanted to take this in a little bit different direction. You know, I think I am a little Bob Mackie and theatrical, but I also have this kind of like rock and roll like that.
Look out, Seattle.
Hey-o. And so I was like, I want to do the Carol Burnett, but kind of in like a punk, fun way. And weirdly, this ended up being the runway for the girl group challenge when I was in the punk group.
Yep.
So it all kind of like,
it all
was like kismet, yeah.
Yeah. Well, your whole journey has been kismet, and you are a remarkable queen, and I'm so glad I got a chance to experience Jane Don't. Honestly, it's been so fun watching you and seeing you are a force. You get out there, you do your thing, you know just what you want to do. I love your reference points. I get them all, and I think you're super smart, and I love that in a queen. Send my love to Irene and Bosco and all the Seattle queens that are working their tushes off.
I will. Thank you for everything.
Of course, thank you for your gift. You keep going out there and kicking ass. I'm excited for you. Yes, thank you. Salute. And thank you all for joining me for another episode of Whatcha Packin. I'll see you next time, kids. Mwah. Be safe.
I see the sun shining bright, ain't a cloud in the sky. Yeah, it's a good
I mean, can you be rock and roll if you call yourself rock and roll? I feel like that's,
No,
that could be like,
if you're gay.
yeah, totally. So, I mean, I'm dressed like Keith Richards, so you know what it is. You know what it is.
Hey there, it's Michelle Visage. Do you say yay for gay? Well then join me and subscribe to RuPaul's Drag Race YouTube channel.